Kings. I'm Liz.
And I am La Scandal.
La Scandal.
And let's play a game together. Woo!
So we are back with Lily's Garden, and they've actually started doing offers, so you can buy packs. So I've been talking about during this game the entire time there's been no ads. There are still no ads, which I love and respect greatly, but they've actually started offering like packs of things. Now again, I'm going to talk about the ridiculous amounts of free lives, like hours of free lives. If you buy this, you are immediately free lives for 4 hours, and it starts counting down right that second.
Right.
So you better be ready to play for 4 hours.
Commit.
Commit. You gotta commit. Anyway,
Like dang.
so this is gonna be episode 5, I believe, of Lily's Garden. We actually had a really lovely request from one of our followers to continue this series, and we had been having fun with the series, but there hadn't seemed to be a lot of interest. So we're just gonna go ahead and do another episode. This is the next day.
All right.
Ba-la-la-la-la.
Because we did actually, so we made an error. Well, so we went a little bit too far. We hit the button.
So we hit the button and we missed
the new
night.
day.
So for starting the new day, so what happened last night, we actually missed the animation and everything. We don't even know what happened. So we all missed it together, what happens between during the night of day 6 to 7.
Because she seems to be either having dreams or seems to wake up or
have some
something.
crap happen every single night, and we don't even know what it was. So we apologize for that. But anyway, we're going to go right from there. We'll just call Regina. It's the morning, because she's helping us every day. We're going to do this.
Yes, our friend
right.
who, weirdly enough, is... Oh.
Door's locked. There must be a key somewhere. Let's see if Regina's awake.
Regina,
We've discussed
I
our
need your
limitations a little bit better, and so I know that this is a reasonable hour to call her at.
I hope so, because that sounds like going, let's see if she's awake, as if we haven't really established a good
But it could be one of
boundary?
those, you can call me in, by 8 a.m. and see if I'm awake.
I hope so.
And
like,
so,
that's what I'm hoping for.
There's no time on the phone. I kind of love that. They're like, we won't commit to what time of day it is. That's the most Blake phone screen ever.
Jones instruction.
Oh, excellent. Hey there, Sleeping Beauty.
Honey, you are hitting on me again. What did I tell you in the morning before I've had my eggs?
I'm sorry, I know you're married, but playful hitting, as long as we realize that that's what it is, should be all right.
It's true.
Okay.
Morning, lady. What's up?
Another day, another broken roof. We're looking at the art studio today.
Arthur Studio, huh? Well, Italian vintage houses aren't really my thing, especially not this early.
Hey, thought you said you could fix anything. Plus, it'll look great on your website.
You got me. All right, sure. I wouldn't miss a good challenge like this. See you in a bit.
That's very cute. She's like, oh, come on. Where's your sense of pride? Approach a challenge.
Ah, come on.
And she's like, all right, all right. On the other hand, there is still a level of, we should be paying her, especially since we can afford to pay her.
No.
I want to pay her.
I do.
For her work. Like, I don't care if they're starting to be friends. Like, pay your friends for their work. Unless they just want, like, it isn't like a thing between friends. But like, if you hire them to do something professional for you, pay them. It doesn't matter that they're your friends.
Yes. Like there is a level of, because
pay them for their craft.
And that's the thing of going like, I appreciate you want to do, maybe like some of it you could do for free, but I wouldn't say like do all of it for free then. I guess it would be depending on who your friend was and also their pattern of behavior. Like, because there is a level of going, I appreciate this, but you went out and you got resources, you spent your time, you deserve this.
Or at least going, I'm going to buy all the supplies even though you want to give me this thing.
Right.
So you're just giving me your time, your skill, your ability.
Which would, again, that's a different kind of deal.
You can work that out. Anyways, now, what's next?
Clean it up.
All right, probably, because that is a mess. We got to tidy up the ground. Well, this is going to be a big tidy, because there is a lot going on there.
A lot of tides.
Like much. Listen up, weeds. There's a new garden sheriff in town, and, she will prevent your growth. Yeah.
I am hard-hitting.
I'm feeling very clever this morning. God damn it, I wanted that to be more clever. I was hoping for a greater degree of me at me. Can't we be more clever at this time?
Aw.
I gotta work on those one-liners.
Yes.
Yes, good job. She's like, I can do this. She's just singing, rake, 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 pluck, 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 da, 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 da. She's a
Trim,
Disney
trim,
princess.
trim.
Trim, 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 cut, 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 snip, snip here, clip, clip there. That is it. Oh, we found some flowers.
I know.
Some functioning flowers.
I know. We didn't go to the store or anything.
Nope, they just were there, hidden, poof, under all the weeds. Weeds being the flowers and things we didn't want. So, in case anyone doesn't know, the colloquial term weed, unless there is weed in the actual given name of plant, such as milkweed, it is only a weed if you do not want it.
And honestly, in some ways, some people have made an argument that some weeds, even when they have weed in the name, are not as bad as you think they are at all. It depends on what you want.
Oh, well, some weeds are actually
Very
medicinal
beneficial.
and herbs and everything. Like, it's just a class distinction,
Right.
meaning like order, phylum, class.
Right. Which is very funny because I don't think I know a single class of going, yes, here is the poop animal. You know? like
Anyway,
a weird level of, you know, like that you are the useless animal, you know,
right?
like thing.
Like that's your vermin.
Right.
So your vermin is an unwanted animal, your weed is an unwanted plant.
That's true.
As far as the colloquial terms are concerned. In the same way that one can say that's a bug, there is actually an order of bugs, including bed bugs, but most people use bug to include all things insect, arachnid, spider, everything, you know, worms, and
despite the fact that they are not all equal.
They are not all bugs. If you get into somebody who's into insects, they'll be like, the bed bug is a bug.
Right. I love it though also sometimes where they're like, yep, figuring out basically where animals go sometimes is the biggest goddamn headache because so many people can make many different arguments from many different directions actually about various different animals
For what family they should be in and how they relate to each other. It's great.
All right. It's so cool.
So here we are, Aunt Mary, Uncle Arthur's special place, which was also quite special to you. I remember the way your eyes lit up when you spoke of Arthur and his sculptures and paintings. I have a hard time imagining Larry doing anything art-related with his dad besides drinking his wine.
I wonder if basically, like, I'm trying to figure out what Larry's issue was.
What the father-son relationship was like, and also what his relationship with his stepmom was.
What about his relationship just with himself? I'm like,
Right?
Larry, what happened to you?
Who are you, sir?
Like, so the thing is so I'm frustrated because he's that very weird, skeezy, older uncle type that was very common in, like, the 80s and the early 90s, like, at least in terms of movies, and that skeezy, like, uncomfortable...
Like gold-chained lounge lizard.
Yes! And going, like, what is... Because that doesn't come out of nowhere.
No, and going, so what built this person into who he is?
Right.
And going, if we were, you know, related to each other as cousins, how much did we know him?
Right.
And was he into wine or alcohol when he was very young?
No
What's
kidding.
the deal?
Right.
I'm letting Larry get me all worked up. Hopefully, I don't have to deal with him anymore. Maybe.
I doubt that.
Oh, Roxy's barking. Sounds like we have visitors. Oh, speaking of the devil, look at the statues just fallen over and like the unused marble and all of this stuff. I love the lover statue right there. It's super cute.
Right.
I just assume that's what it is. Ah, there he is.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
you just love Larry. You love Larry, you do.
Oh, God, look at all the stuff.
He's trying to move in.
Oh, Lord. Larry, what are you doing here? Shoes, clocks,
The
socks.
answer is no. Lily, great news! My lawyer found a loophole in Mary's will.
A loophole.
That's right. It means I'm entitled to half the estate, too. And I chose the house as my half. Oh, he moved out all of your stuff.
He moved all your stuff out.
I figured you're much more into the gardens than I am. Everybody gets what they want.
Are you?
I had your stuff boxed up. It's right over there. All nice and neat.
Thanks. I love that we have an exercise ball. One of the classic yoga balls kind of thing. Also did we bring a wheelbarrow with us in our car?
Also, in a lot of ways, those yoga balls are actually very common in terms of physical therapy.
Oh, they are. Extremely. And they're very good. They're also fairly fun for those ergonomic chairs. What about my lawyer?
Oh, God. Gotta unpack this stuff. Nice seeing ya.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
I'd be like, all right, so look at his TV and everything and the speakers, the surround sound system. He's like, yep. And I'm also just like, okay, so you know what? It just occurs to me that his hair is straight here and it's curly over here.
Oh,
like the difference between his moving functional sprite and his illustrative
we've
sprite.
pointed out again that
which changes with some people, but I'm just like, the difference between curly and straight hair is kind of a big difference.
It's very significant?
It's significant. It does. Anyway, I'm just like, we should be calling our lawyer.
Yeah, no, the answer is
going, no. Oh dear. What is going on?
Barf.
Yes. Thank you, Roxy.
All right.
I needed that so hard.
Call Philip immediately.
Yes, thank you. Oh, God. Yes, please.
So it looks like we are in the
Put
right
back
because we're gonna
Lily's
put our
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, so we're not
We're
gonna
gonna find out though.
We're
what
gonna
is
find
going
out.
on.
We're gonna Philip, please, you gotta help us out. I'm also like, he just took some action there. Like, you won't shove me out. Like, okay, so there, basically what our cousin did there was assumed that we would be such a pushover that we wouldn't check anything out, that we'd be so easy to walk over that if he just showed up and took action, that we'd just roll over and take it. He's going, you know what? You're sort of easy to intimidate. I've always been able to push you over. You've always been in bad relationships with men and I can take advantage of you kind of behavior. Doesn't mean he was aware of any of that at all. But that if we are demonstrating this sort of ability to be pushed around by men.
Looking at it from possibly his perspective, right? Of him going, I have done this thing, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that you're going to potentially fight or be combative or whatever else. It's like the thing of going, you have a level of entitlement of going that I need to prove that I'm just fine with doing what I'm doing because then no one will question me on it because this is my thing. Like, it's a thing sometimes people really do talk themselves into of going, okay, the only way to do this, because this is going to get uncomfortable, is I need to just go in there and go do a thing. He could be doing it for the thing of going, I'm trying to protect myself seriously, desperately, which is not to excuse his behavior. Right? But it's to give him some sort of what I would call, like, because what bothers me a lot about this particular trope is being like, I'm just being skeezy because I'm being skeezy.
Right. Like, again, we don't know who he is. And like I said, it doesn't mean that's what he was doing, but that's what it felt like a lot of just going, men shove you around, I'm going to shove you around.
Right.
And that was kind of like, damn, Philip Jones.
Hello?
Mr.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Jones, it's Lily Roberts. Larry is here, and he says his lawyer found a loophole that entitles him to 50% of the estate.
Lily, listen, your great-aunt knew Larry would try to cause trouble. I don't know if there's anything I can do about him, but I know Mary believed in you.
What can I do? I'm an accountant turned landscaper, most recently.
You're the person who has the information about the law. Well, I'm sure you'll think of something if you just keep working on that garden. Honey, that's not... Okay, I'm really uncomfortable because part of me wants to be like, are you really going to pull something of going, well, I could give you the answer, but I need you to work for it.
Again, is he being vague, or is he going, I legally am not allowed to tell you what the loophole is, but I'm sure you'll figure out that if you meet the requirements of the will and finish that garden in the allotted time, everything's yours, without a doubt.
Which might be exactly what he's doing, because he's like, I can't legally tell you what to do in this area. You already have the answer.
Right.
You have until 30 days for you, period.
To earn this house and have it be absolutely yours no matter what.
Yep.
And going, I appreciate that. And going, in this case, he might not be trying to do the vague. He may really feel legally bound to go, if I remind you, well, if you do this for 30 days, it might be considered counsel in your actions of what to do.
Right.
And he could be concerned about that. On the other hand, it does feel weird, like that vague, knowing mentor kind of thing of going, well, look in your soul and find the answer. I know it, and I could tell it to you, but you should come to that realization.
Yeah, pretty much.
And kind of like, I want to know more which one it is. So there's nothing you can...
Oh, my lemon tea is ready. Bye for now, Miss Roberts.
You are dodging the way you did when we were doing the tackle and the swans and the
that's
fishing
the other
gear.
reason, though, why I'm kind of bringing that up, of being like, he do a
dodges
serious
a lot.
amount of dodging, so I'm... Okay, I wouldn't call it abusive, but I would call it kind of manipulative. Like, it is very much like, well, is he... Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Huh.
Bow.
I just like bow wow. I think someone had so much fun writing this text.
They're like, all I have is it's a dog.
It's kind of doing like a dog key smash kind of thing.
Right?
I love it.
It's the bow wow wow.
You have this keyboard that has nothing but like B's, W's, O's, and U's, and you just do the dog key smash.
We're just gonna do a confrontation. Period.
All right. Well, there's more
because
than
he
one
hasn't
room in that
explained it
house.
either. He's going, oh, my lawyer found this thing. What are you talking about? You need to explain this to me before you can just come on here, because I could call the cops on you, and we could spend a long time doing this.
Or it could also be okay, you chose your half. You know what? I feel like we'd need to choose together since we both own it, so I'm going to take half the house, you take half the house, and we'll split the garden. For now.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Hang on.
We'll put it back. We'll see how it develops.
But again, I'm kind of curious as to what this is doing.
Right? Are we just going to put it somewhere else? I'm not just letting him take over Aunt Mary's house. My house. My house, not Aunt Mary's house.
Yes.
These boxes are going back inside. Also, What is this, like, stripy blue, like greenish,
It looks like
thing?
it's supposed to be like either like a futon of some kind or one
Couple
of
of
those little
futon
lounge.
mattresses.
Remember the cushion that goes on the lounge chairs?
Okay.
Like that's kind of what I
I'm
was
also
thinking.
like, were we able to fit all of that in our car? Because damn.
That's a lot.
Also, where the hell have we still parked our car? I want to know. Like, where are we keeping our car? All right, everything back inside a little later. Imagine at some point we'd have bumped into each other and had experiences. There, that's a start. Ha 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 ha. There we go.
God. Hey, Lily, I gotta tell you, this terrace is really something.
It's called a balcony. It's not big enough to be a terrace.
What's going on with you? Aren't you happy? Your cousin Larry gets something and you get something.
You didn't even talk to me about this. You just moved me out while I was on a walk, having a contemplative experience early in the morning about my grandfather and his art studio.
Right?
That's not family behavior. That's not professional behavior. That's not friendship behavior. That's just not good people behavior.
There's also,
Communicate.
I think the thing is that in a court of law, potentially, you would have some sort of case of going, I wasn't even there, you moved my stuff out, I found a loophole, goodbye. That's not excusable.
You didn't legally inform me of the changes which is required to some degree. Yes.
Like that is like, they'd be like, no.
Oh, I tried to call you. Did you have my number?
Right.
I like that she's trying to stand up for herself, though. I like that a lot. Going, I may not know how to approach this, but I'm just going, you're not being decent.
Well, you're right. I could have been more forthcoming. But hey, we both got what we want. Let's let bygones be bygones. No.
You don't
Kick
know
his
anything
ass.
about what we want, sir.
Hey, I gotta take this call. It's my jacuzzi guy.
Your jacuzzi guy? You're gonna install a jacuzzi.
Marf.
Yep, it is just a keyboard made of nothing but M-A-R-F and U's and O's.
Yep.
That's it. I love this.
A-E-I-O-U.
I just want to see... Why won't they just... dog? I just want to see dog's keyboard.
Right,
Like,
dog's
how
keyboard.
do you key smash when you are a dog? I love it.
When you are Doge.
When you doge.
Doge.
All right, here we go. Well, I guess we'll just leave that there. Okay. Don't panic. Breathe. Just...
Lowercase Lily.
Lily. Yes. Us feeling a little small. Lily. Just breathe.
Lily.
Lily. Me addressing me in the lowercase. Lily.
Lily. Arf, arf.
So I wonder if the studio is a place I can live in, so I don't have to deal with him in the meantime. What if it's one of those like getaway home from home kind of things?
I'm also like, where the heck is your friend, too?
Not that it's a great compromise.
Usually
but
she's over real fast.
could be traffic.
Yeah.
Could be the staging of the game dynamics and the fact that we can't interact with her action yet because it has to be episodic because of spending stars.
It's true.
I mean, just shove that off. It's because of traffic.
Absolutely. Let's find out conventions for all of this.
All right. The suspicious squinty eyes.
Arf, arf.
Yes! You're right, Roxy. I need to focus. I will also make the squinty, determined eyes. All right, find the key.
All right.
We put back the stuff. All right, so let's clean
Now we're
up
just gonna do
painting
cleaning.
here.
Okay.
We're just gonna clean up this area. We're gonna we'll focus on the garden and something will happen. Maybe he knows that when his granddaughter gets there, she'll help you. Maybe it's more of that, of just keep doing what you're doing. Help is on the way, but I can't say that.
Right.
Could be one of those. I like that theory as well. Gonna take some elbow grease to get rid of these paint stains and lots of household ammonia. Paint stains where? Like internally, maybe? Except we don't have the key, so
yeah, I'm like, hang on. I'm also like, wait.
I want to see the paint stains. Lots of household ammonia later, with not so much rat in it.
Correct?
I don't know.
Like, do you want to clean up paint with ammonia? Don't they usually go, like, some paints have leads in them?
It depends on the type of paint it is.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
whether it's oil-based, water-based, whether it's house paint and, industrial paint, spray paint, you need different kinds of thinners, removers. All right, so the painting channel we watch, what is his name that does the restorations?
Art restoration?
Okay.
Bantam
Art restoration?
Something like, I'd have to look it up. It's really
an art
great.
restoration guy. He does really cool videos. He talks really in great detail about restoring and conserving the paintings he does, and we love his stuff. But he would know what kind of, things were needed if we knew what kind of paint we were dealing with, which is one of the principal things you need to know. What kind of paint you're dealing with.
Right.
Even myself as a painter, I'm like, you can't just
Bro.
You know, you can't just strip off water-based paints with, you know, an oil remover kind of thing. Be like, I'll just put paint thinner in my water paints. Oh, that is bad news.
Oh, damn.
That'll
dude.
work fine,
Oops.
maybe.
You're also trying to be really careful because actually with a lot of different chemicals, you can actually create other chemicals that will literally just kill you.
Yes,
Like,
so
period.
Mixing chemicals is a very important thing to be aware of because that is the basis of all chemistry ever. Chemicals with chemicals causes experiences, some of them very deadly.
Ooh.
Hey, what's that?
A photo?
Maybe. I bet it's a photo. This is a really cute shack thingy, though.
A key!
Ah! Oh, what do you unlock, little key? Secret garden. We have become the secret garden.
We really have.
It is the secret garden. Okay, I appreciate this, but like the nail, the actual white part of the nail being all the way down around the side suggests that you've separated it from the nail bed all the way down past the cuticle edge.
Ooh.
That makes me uncomfortable. Like artistic choice, you're trying to create like shine or depth or whatever, but as far as the function of that nail, ow.
It could also be some individuals also just basically develop some of that on their own. It could be she literally did that at one point and her nail never grew back normally. It could add a level of interesting character. Like I totally get your point. You could be like, that would really...
When that happened, it hurt.
Yeah.
When you separated the nail from the cuticle and it's just created an interesting irregularity.
Like, I have to admit, unfortunately now, as being one of those people where I figured out apparently how to separate, you know, my toenail from the nail bed, and now I have this giant space on my toe, and I'm like, so I can just cut down that far? Is a little weird. But I understand that feel where you go, yeah, ow. That initial thing really hurt like crazy.
All right, so yeah, anyway, interesting character detail. We'll just canon that.
Sure.
It's fine. Headcanon character detail, done. I have an educated guess.
Hey, it's reasonable.
Are we gonna unlock it? Check out studio.
Yes.
Let's do it.
You want to do the flower pots?
No,
Check out the studio.
I want to go in the studio. Like out here will take care of itself. I need to know what's there. And if it were a natural timeline, if I was talking about the difference between the game narrative versus like the gameplay narrative, game narrative here is going to be that we're expecting our friend the carpenter to be here soon. We'd want to see if this can open up and what we would need to do to make it most accommodating for her first before we deal with the flower pots.
No, but we actually have had some issues where we assume going, okay, we're going to be doing cleaning up, and we pick something that basically takes us back in time.
And it does it out of order.
Figure out which order, air quotey, it's supposed to be in?
Yeah, like the staircase thing was a bit of a challenging order going, when did this show up? We missed it somewhere.
Right.
On the other hand, like in this case, just speaking like I said, gameplay is you can choose either of these, but game narrative is if she's on her way right now, we'd want to be as prepared as possible, which concerns this building.
Right, and so you'd want to spend your time focusing on the building itself.
So that is where I'm at. I love that there's a tree growing inside of it, but I also am sad that there's a tree growing inside of it.
Yeah.
The key fits.
Oh, wow.
Look at the window and everything. This is very charming. And then the willow.
Oh, wow, an
with
incomplete...
the swing and all of it.
Oh.
My Aunt Mary would probably tell me that the place still smells like him. The poor brushes. Okay, lordy. Like, please don't store your brushes with paint on them. They will never work ever again.
I know.
Like, I get that it's an interesting convention visually, but all of those brushes are completely ruined for life unless it's a like oil-based paint that you can thin off, but the amount of stripping at this point is probably going to damage the bristles, which is not good for your bristles to let the paint dry on them.
Right. Please take care of your art supplies. But also in some ways, so what I think is interesting for me, like watching this of going, this seems like somebody who very abruptly basically got interrupted.
It does. It feels a little bit like that. And
you're like, dude, are you okay? Like, what happened to you, Arthur? Like, damn, did you abruptly, like, I don't know, we get a little morbid. Did you abruptly have like a heart attack or something?
stroke?
Yeah, or a stroke. Or...
Like, and then you never came back to your studio after you were, had like, you know that like, there's the exposition so far of going like he lost his ability to do things over time, but he could still do art for quite some time.
Right.
And then going, did he then suddenly lose that, or again, did he die suddenly?
Right.
Whoa, that is definitely a painting of Aunt Mary in the nude.
Oh,
she was such a firecracker.
That's so cute.
That's also very cute. Her having this mixed reaction of going, that's my Aunt Mary. And a self-portrait of Arthur. He was really good. I can recognize his style anywhere. I love the willow. I also love that he painted his wife in the nude. That's very charming. And then she's just like, paint me like one of your French girls. I mean, one of your willow trees. I mean,
And then I'm sure as the time went on of going like, oh my God, this is so boring, Arthur, I'm gonna die. Like, so one of the things that I love where people point out going, you romanticize art models like crazy. Most of them are like, please help me, I'm going to fart.
or I'm going to fall asleep.
cramping.
Or some of it is really like you're doing a laying pose. You're in repose so that, you can do a relaxed pose so you can hold it for much longer. And you're just trying not to fall asleep. You're going, I cannot fall asleep. I'm going to fall asleep. And
passing out.
You can't, unless they have you reading a book, or unless you're able to watch a medium while holding the pose, you're just sitting for hours with no music or anything and just sort of waiting contemplatively. Meditation is good for you.
But didn't you do it at one point? No, you wanted to.
No, I did some. I actually did some art modeling. So in case anyone wants to know, art modeling does not require you to look like what you might say a model at all.
And in fact, a lot of cases, if you go to some people, they really don't want you to look like the stereotypical art model.
Just the stereotypical model.
Well, that one.
What they want is a person with character that can do what they're instructed to do. When I took my drawing level 1 class, the only art class I ever took in college, there was an experience of going, because I didn't very much college. It's okay though. But anyway,
it's okay.
There was an experience of, the last day was a life drawing. Now she wasn't nude, but the individual who came and posed for us, she talked about her career while she did the poses. It was kind of a fun way for us to learn to draw her while she told her story. So her body held still, but she talked to us, right?
Right.
And she did mostly like 10 to 15 minute poses.
Right.
And so we didn't have a lot of time to work on them, but it gave us an idea of how to capture the basics of it. And she talked about how everyone that hires her, it is not about what she looks like, it's about what she's able to emote. Can she call forth physically some kind of emotion like despair or anger or aloofness or frustration or, just joy?
Trying to push basically the dynamic poses. Can you do it, and can it feel natural, and can you hold it?
Right? In the way that I would,
natural air quotey. God,
yeah, natural poses.
Natural.
Anyway, and so that's what a lot of artists are looking for. Well, even when you're using art references for your fan art or anything, a lot of times, like my friend Scandal here is going, what I'm looking for is a certain emotional feel. It has very little to do with the features on the person as much as it does the emotional feel of the interaction.
Right, that one.
So anyway, but I did do art modeling for a little while in that way when I was just trying to get some extra money, and I was like, well, they pay cash.
They really do.
And so it was kind of fun, but it was really interesting to work with some of the artists where they really just did want a body that could hold the pose they were looking for, that they could look at from every angle, and the rest of it really didn't matter. All right. But Larry really doesn't look like a thing. Larry really doesn't look a thing like him, does he? There we go.
Knock, knock. I bet you it's Regina.
Knock, knock. I hope so. I imagine. Yeah! Hello, Regina! Regina! I forgot I even called you.
We did not. You're fine, Lily. We're here for you.
We remember for you. Lily, put that capital L in front of your name again. You've got support.
Yes, we're here for you.
Solidarity.
Yeah, what's the deal? There's some receding hairline by the house hollering about a jacuzzi.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. One angry explanation.
Yes.
Let me use Sim speak in the background for a second. All right, anyway.
That's pretty insane. And my grandpa's only advice for you was to keep working on the garden. Well, I don't have any more appointments today. I can help.
Thank you. I'm trying hard not to freak out. It's mostly working. I'm just going to pep talk me a lot. Just ignore me while I pep talk myself, because I'm going to be like, hey, Lily, you can do this. It's all right. Don't hyperventilate. We're okay.
All right. You're going to replace flower pots and Regina's going to disappear.
She will for a second. It's fine, because it was supposed to be something beforehand, and that's
Again,
fine.
like, sometimes I'm, like, super disoriented, though, going, like, where it's like, you would imply you would like us to do all this other stuff first. And then it's like, and then the person is there. I don't know what you expect.
Or sometimes going, here's a piece of story where it's clearly indicated what you're going to do next, and then that matches up with the gameplay task list.
Right.
And then sometimes another one just appears that I didn't connect to being created at all.
Right?
Yes. I'm just like, anyway, do it. Replace all the flower pots.
Doot!
Do. These flower pots are beyond help. better replace them than try and fix them. However, broken terracotta pots have super many uses, like lots and lots, especially terracotta shards, including if you ever do houseplants or potted plants, there's a drain in the bottom of them, which is important for most plants so the soil doesn't, mold, that kind of thing. And you can put broken pieces of terracotta over the drain so that it creates more of like a mesh hole experience, so you don't lose roots and also a lot of soil out of the hole in the bottom of the pots.
Right. There's also the thing, though, too, anyway, at least as far as I've ever seen, not actually every plant requires drainage.
They don't
It really depends on your type of plant. So if you're going to be doing any of this stuff, please research to take care of your plants.
Your
I always
individual
feel
plants.
very bad when people are like, I just have plants. And you're like,
and half
please
of them
take
look
care of them.
deeply sad.
I know.
You are keeping a pet that is sad.
Anyway.
Okay. So, but also they're really great for like mosaic and art pieces, and for doing like small, tile projects, or even putting like texture in your dirt. Again, sort of like the eggshells thing to keep your squishy bugs out of there from eating your garden.
Right.
I wonder if there's any kind of artsy. Yeah, she does it. I love that. Well done, game. Me and the game, we're feeling it together.
We feel.
Artsy craftsy project I could do with the pottery.
But also, it's like, I wouldn't get too far with it.
I don't know without knowing what this is going to look like, that's kind of fun.
That is kind of fun. I'm also
like the options.
Succulents are extremely specific, like depending on your area. So this is again like, find out if you're going to put your plants outside
what they need. Do they need direct sunlight? Do they need partial shade? Do they need deep shade?
Which has actually been one of my big problems, even with even where we've restored other parts of the garden, and I've been like, are these plants actually okay out here?
Are they all compatible to grow?
Are we wasting not like what I would consider a serious amount of water waste? So you have to realize that most gardens, like if you really look at them, a lot of them are basically about a class system of ideas, of going that, if you have the good garden, it meant that you were higher class.
You were a person of quality.
You're a person of quality and you had money to burn, kind of thing. And so in some ways, you're really not, like, sure, it contributes to it looking nice, but you can also make, like, gardens, air quote, look amazing by simply doing like xeriscaping crap. You do not need to go out of your way to pick foreign plants that in some cases are invasive species, and in other cases also are plants that will be easily neglected, easily abused, easily not cared for. Like or
that are going to need a huge amount of care and maintenance to be able to survive the hostile climate that you're putting them in, based on what they're designed for, what they're adapted to.
I like that one because that one atmospherically.
Yeah, that one's sort of fun and cute.
It's
potterific. Don't you think so, Roxy? That's very cute. I'm just like, I love that the game agrees with us that Lily couldn't change their name, and so they're just Doug. I still love that. Roxy? Yeah, barking again. What's going on over there? He's gonna want to remove it.
Probably.
What's going on over there? Save
Larry from...
Oh, God. Are all the guys going to be incompetent in reference to, like, the rose bush, the bees? Okay, look, just because someone's not a nice guy or they're not being nice to you doesn't mean that they have to also be incompetent.
Right?
Okay? Like, people can be incredibly skilled and also not be desirable in your life and not be being a good person to you.
Right.
Okay? Anyway, we're going to, like, that's just where I'm going to end this note, because just, like, damn. But that archetype and that trope sort of frustrates me in reference to going, if you've got a genuine, complete, complex person, even if they are a character that you want to frame as a bad person in reference to your story, it doesn't mean they have to be a nincompoop. They don't have to be ridiculous.
Right. Well, anyway, so we appreciate you guys for being here. I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!